we are going to be on with Florence Pugh. What's up?
Hey!
What up, homie?
I'm not nearly as glamorous as everybody else. I'm wearing like crustacean socks.
You come with glamour. I just saw your tats. What is that?
That is a bee.
Lovely. Does it
A,
have a meaning?
yeah, but I don't want to go into it because we need to talk about your charity.
But okay, well, let's talk about that. Why we're here, everybody, thanks for joining, is we're talking about the ABC Foundation. And what we do is we try and support NGOs in Africa who are giving tech opportunities to young people. So at the moment, we're working with the Induna girls who are in Zimbabwe. We've just finished our first tech hub, which has solar paneling and a dozen computers. And we're teaching young people, Florence, in some of these rural communities, there's not even access to the internet. They don't know how to turn on a computer. They don't know how to send an email. And as we go into where we are right now, where tech is so fundamental to being a part of, business and work, giving access to these young people is changing their lives. I can't say I'm doing any of that work. That's Farai and the Induna girls who are there on the ground, and they know the vulnerabilities of these young people and what they need to provide them with the best opportunities. So thanks for joining us.
Of course, I love chatting to you. And also, that's not fair, OT. You've created this.
Yeah, you know what? I like, my big secret to life is to work with people who are smarter than you, and I try and do that. Well, yeah, to some extent.
It's not hard, darling. It's not hard.
So now the other thing I want to say is that, so people who do want to donate, and I hope you do, you can go on my link in my bio. There's a link there, or abcfoundation.me, and you can both donate money. And if you're a big baller, by the way, and Florence, I know you've got some big baller friends.
Friends. I thought you were going to say me.
Yeah, well, listen. Anyway, but the point is, you can actually get a whole tech hub. They cost 10 grand, and you will put your name on it, you or your mom's name, and this will provide like generations of tech training. But if you have $10, that makes a difference, and we love it.
But that is so cool to see and to know that the thing that you're putting money towards is actually creating the place in which these people are going to be educated. Like, so cool.
Yeah.
One of the things that I mean, there's so much to be like looking at right now in terms of charities and foundations, and the world is literally desperate for help. And there's so much that it's like you want to invest in absolutely everything, but you'd be poor in a day if you did that.
Yeah, right.
So one of my questions is like, I love having these opportunities to talk to people about what they're doing and what they're creating, which is why it's been so cool to talk to you listen to you for the past hour. And also, like, to the people that want to help, but maybe want to help in a different way and not just donate, how can they help? What can they do? Like, how can they be a part of this foundation?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The main things we need outside of money are things like your used laptops or your used smartphone. I mean, what's incredible about smartphone, which we just now take for granted, this incredible technology, for many young people who we're working with in Zimbabwe, that will be their first chance to get online. That will be their first opportunity to send an email. And these things are computers. They're little computers. So that old iPhone 7, like, as long as it works and, and has a charger, there's an address on the website, and you can send it there. And it really will make a difference to some young person.
Of course. I mean, but even those hubs sound so exciting to get involved with. Like, I'd love to get involved with that.
Well, if people know about solar paneling, or like all those kind of things are useful to us: solar panels, phones, laptops. I think you really hit on an important point, which is like, it is tough for people who are trying to who realize that it's like there's so much to do in the world, and then how do you decide what to
Which
do?
thing?
Otherwise,
Yeah.
Well, how do you think about that?
I think specifically now the world has gone down to such like an intense pace in terms of like slow and fast, in the same way that we're now being given and we're being afforded this time to really kind of like figure out how and where we want to be invested in, and like there is so much, and people are generous, people do want to help, and people do want to see the world become better, which is one of the things that I found just like so epic about you, was at the moment this pandemic started, you were in Africa, like helping people. And that's just a testament to how amazing you are, but also just how forward thinking you are. And I think that people, it's so nice to see, I suppose, how much good that the work you're doing, and also how easy it is to help. And that's why these chats are so fantastic, is because everybody wants to help people learn, and whether it's an old laptop or your, you know, tenner that you earned in your tips yesterday, if it's going towards the right thing, people get really excited by that. So I take my hat off to you, buddy.
Oh, thanks. You know, it's very nice of you to say, but I will say that I am in a very privileged position to do that. You know, like I work on shows. You know, I get paid well for what I do, which means I have the opportunity to give more. And I think, you know, sometimes I just figure the work that people do can sometimes be just spending an extra 10 minutes with your son, or, you know, like the work that some person can do is just be like, oh, you know what? I know a kid and he needs some help with maths, and I'm just going to help him out with math. Like I sometimes think like the big gestures are great, but if you're fortunate enough to be able to make those, but I also just kind of like, from my humble position, just encourage people just to see what little they can do. And sometimes the best thing you can do is look after your own mental health. Like sometimes the best thing you can do is not try and help someone else. Just like take a walk. Like,
I mean, it was really great listening to your conversation about mental health. I didn't ever think that, I think because life is so fast, usually, there are so many excuses to blame on your inner worries, or your inner anxiety, or your inner thoughts. And now we've been, as I said earlier, awarded this time. And the big thing for me that I noticed during this time was that anxiety didn't go. And for a lot of my life, I am so busy. I'm privileged in that I get to work, but with that comes, you know, a busy schedule. And so in my head, I was always blaming it on, oh, I need to be there, I need to be there, I need to be at that place. And then when it went silent and I was still, I was like, oh shit, I've still got that anxiety, that something's wrong. And that was a big wake-up call for me, that I needed to sort something out, and I needed to deal with that, and I needed to have a relationship with that. So mental health is I'm so happy that people are facing it, especially during these times, because it's so important. You're right.
What do you do to help with your mental tranquility?
Well, thankfully, so at the time, my boyfriend kind of knew exactly what I was going through, and he was like, don't worry, here's what you're going to do. You're going to meditate every day. You're going to work out every day, and you're going to make sure that you don't like not run away from this. For me, I stopped drinking coffee because that is the devil, like the fucking devil. I even stopped drinking tea, which for a Brit is, as you know, absolutely like, are you nearly dying? What's happened? I mean,
are you even English anymore?
Are you even English? OT, I was drinking herbal tea at 7 in the morning.
How the mighty have fallen.
Like, what is that going to do for me?
But really, caffeine, like what you put into your body is such a big deal.
Totally.
I just want to just jump on that really quickly, because I remember, like, I do some meditation. I remember before people would say, oh yeah, meditation is really good. And I'm like, well, how do I meditate? I tried sitting down. All I could do is thoughts in my head. I'm not good at meditation. Well, are you got any top tips for people who want to try and get into meditation?
So I used to think that I hated meditation because I couldn't do it. Turns out I was just really bad at it, which is also why I don't like it. But there's this amazing app called, let me think for a second. I think it's just called the meditation app.
And
it's really good. And it just teaches you all these techniques of like not being afraid of anxiety, not being afraid of stress, not being afraid of like anything that's in your head. And it just basically teaches you how to deal with it with learning how to breathe. That's literally what it
Yeah.
is. And I couldn't believe how simple, I mean, if you just put it in those terms, it's really simple, but how hard it is. And it's been super helpful for me. And also, I love cooking, like, really, really meditates me. It keeps me very calm.
Right. Right.
Really, really
So
calm.
someone says the Calm app. I tried out the Waking Up app, which is Sam Harris's meditation app, and another one I use is a Meditation Oasis, which is like guided meditations.
Right.
Um, so just for everyone who's just joining us, we're talking generally about good health, good living. One of the things we're supporting right now is the ABC Foundation, which provides
Yeah.
tech opportunities to young people, and
Yeah.
you can find ways to donate on the link on my page. But part of what we're also talking about just now is just thinking about, like, outside of helping others, sometimes it's important to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you can help others. And you know,
So
similar to
true.
you. Sorry, say.
I said very true.
Yeah, and similar to you, for me, some of those things are exercise makes all the
Yeah.
difference. You know, we get all these stress in our bodies, and it creates all these, like, release all these chemicals, and we need to get them out. Meditation,
Mhm.
and doing things for other people, like sometimes just small things, helping someone with the shopping or whatever
You know
helps.
what's really cool is obviously at the moment homelessness is facing like a massive crisis because all the people that are usually on the roads, all the people that are usually driving past, all the clothes bins that on the side of car parks
Right, I hadn't thought
aren't
about
getting
that.
full anymore. So when I was in LA, homelessness was it got really really sad. For obviously it is sad, but
Right.
they couldn't get food, they couldn't get money. And so one thing that we did for a long stretch of time was make sandwiches on the weekend, and we would give
Wow.
those meals to the homeless shelter. And that was just like, it was really cool because
Wow.
at the beginning of this pandemic, everybody felt so helpless and they didn't really know
Right.
how to help or give money or where to give money to. And it was a really kind of nice way of just like knowing that you were doing something for a portion of people that really desperately
Yeah.
needed a meal that day.
That's amazing. What
Um,
sandwiches though? What kind of
so
sandwiches?
we'd make PB and
Make me
J.
hungry.
Oh, hi moth. Ah, sorry, moth decided to attack me. PB and J, cheese and ham, cheese.
That is so sweet of you. I can just imagine in your kitchen, like, making up
Yeah,
sandwiches to
and
give to
and
people.
we put in some crisps, a juice box. Basically, it was supposed to be like a
Little
packet
punch.
of childhood wonder. Basically, so
Right.
there's supposed to be a packet of crisps, a juice box, like an apple puree, maybe a Kit Kat or two.
Do you remember the name of the
Just
homeless shelter? No.
a midnight mission.
Midnight Mission. Shout
Yeah,
out to the Midnight Mission.
midnight mission. Yeah.
Um,
So Carey Brothers is a good friend of ours, and he introduced us to it. And he said, "There's one way that you can be helping right now, and it is making meals for the homeless for Midnight Mission." So we'd make meals, and that was just like, I mean, yeah. Obviously, we all felt helpless, but it was a good thing to put your energy towards.
See how it's so amazing. So we've got Trans Tech, check it out. We've got Midnight Mission, check it
Yeah.
out. We've got the ABC Foundation. You can go into the link and donate your
I really want
computer.
to come and help you at the ABC Foundation. It sounds so awesome.
Well, listen. Well, that's when we get off this. We'll talk about.
I
I'll
think
talk
I've just
about
promised
how.
something that I'm really excited to
Yeah,
promise.
we've got it on video now,
I
so
know.
it's kind
I
of a
bet it's very
contract.
exciting.
Now, listen, we are running out of time fast. I know people want to talk. I mean, I guess there's the whole Black Widow thing. I don't know if anybody's going across this one, but I remember how we became friends. Do you remember
Um,
how?
hang on a second.
Go
We
on.
didn't just become friends.
Okay,
We
say
fell in
you
love.
fell in love. All right,
We
fair.
fell in love as
Yeah.
friends, but we fell in
Yes.
love. It was
Platonic
wonderful.
love.
It was love. It was great love. So OT and I know how to gabber, and we also know how to wind each other up, and we also know how to give it how to have a good drink. And this was all combined on a plane to San
Right.
Diego for the Comic-Con of
Right.
Black Widow. And OT and I were the only ones that were awake on this plane. And I came to his chair and we had a little picnic.
Yeah, maybe a little picnic on the chair.
And I think we started having like rants and arguments about things, also while
drinking and shouting,
ranting and giggling. And then we landed. And when we got to San Diego, we'd never been to San Diego before, and I think you have a video, don't you? Because OT does this really cute thing where when there's like, you don't do it anymore.
No, I do. I video everything. Okay. I'm just like, OT
does these amazing things where like every now and then, instead of writing a diary, he'll basically video like 4 seconds of the life in that moment. And so we were both so jet lagged and our eyes were like this. And we were in the back of this car and he was videoing us driving through San Diego. And there were all these people in outfits and space boots.
If anyone hasn't been to Comic-Con, it's like, it's an event where people who are into comics and superheroes, and it's one of the most amazing, it's like a carnival. People are dressed up.
Incredible. And also OT and I both knew that come tomorrow, literally 24 hours, we wouldn't be able to walk on the streets anymore because our characters would have been introduced to like a sea of fucking people, and we wouldn't have been able to have like done any normal shit. So we basically got off the plane and decided to walk around and kind of giggle at how nuts this was. And we were just like, I mean, that's when we fell in love. I also didn't know you very much, but after that I did.
Yeah, exactly. That was really when we got to know each other. Oh God, that was so amazing. What so I'm always scared when people ask me questions about, because I'm like, I don't know, I'm not allowed to say anything.
No.
So we can't say anything.
Well, no,
Go on.
There's just no point. Like, just let someone else cock up. Let someone else accidentally say it. Just don't do it. You don't want to be known as the person that says like.
No one wants that.
But you know, we can say like, "Oh, it was fun."
Listen, a lot of fun.
We can say it was fun. We can say that we did lots of stuff and stunts. And...
Oh my gosh, the stuff? We talked about stuff for ages. Listen, we are all.
You need to go. I know.
Florence, well, listen, can we do this again? Can we find time to chat some more? Because
OT and I made a promise that we're going to really try and do this a little bit more often and talk about things that are happening in the world and causes that need some attention. And I'm saying it on here so that we have to keep with our promise.
Now we have to do
because I think it's really important that even though there's so much going on, that we put focus on some things. And I'd love to talk to you about all of those to come.
Yeah, I'd also love to know from people their ideas. Like, email, DM me, DM Florence, and we'll see if there's some things that come up that people want to have a chat about.
And what do you want us to talk about, and what do you want us to look at and dissect? It would be really cool for all of us to band together right now, because it's a weird time.
Florence, thank you so much. You're amazing. So generous of you to join us for the ABC Foundation. Thank you, everybody who came and joined. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Sending you lots and lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.